Teddy Bridgewater is an absolute legend here at Northwestern Senior High School. In his first year as coach of the Bulls, he brings home a state title. So what's the problem? Well, according to his own admission, he spent thousands of his own dollars helping his players in one way or another, and that's against the rules.
Chesley Major. Chesley Major.
One of those 237 bills headed to the governor's desk will make it legal for high school coaches to support players financially, that is, pay for things like meals and rides home with their own money. If he signs the bill into law, it will be named for the former Miami Northwestern high school coach who was suspended for doing just that. That former coach is now NFL quarterback Teddy Bridgewater, who just signed with the Detroit Lions and is right here with us to talk about it all. So nice to have you in the studio.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here.
And congrats on the signing, new contract.
Thank you.
And congrats on having a bill named after you. What's that like?
That's awesome.
That's fine.
It's one of my biggest accomplishments
Aww.
as a player and as a human being.
You are Florida history.
Yeah,
So, this was a unanimous bill. Every lawmaker in Tallahassee voted yes on this. And I suspect this has been going on with coaches for a long time, but before you made it public by being suspended.
Right.
See, this has been going on for a long time. These coaches have played a pivotal role in these kids' life. They've done a lot for these kids spiritually, mentally, and financially. Only reason they was running down on Teddy Bridgewater is because he's a black man and he's doing it for inner city black kids. Point blank, period. And I'm glad that this bill got passed, but let's get back into it.
Tell me about that.
Well, it's awesome to know that, everyone in politics has a heart.
Actually, my brother, they don't. But they've come to the conclusion that if they come after you, then they absolutely have to come at the YT coaches too. But let's continue, shall we?
You didn't know that?
I didn't know. Sometimes you have some heartless individuals, but my hat goes off to Senator Jones. Man, it's awesome that, he picked up the story and just took it to the Capitol, and, now we have a bill. But,
Were you up in Tallahassee? Did you go up there?
No.
Oh, no star power in Tallahassee? You didn't bring it?
I probably would have been able to go,
Yeah.
But it's something that's been going on for years, for decades. And not just from coaches, but you have parents as well who, make sure kids have rides home, have meals, and all those things as well.
Yeah, I mean, high school sports, there's a lot of people playing high school sports that just don't have the resources to do what it takes to be off the field doing all of those things.
There is a lot of phenomenal kids out there who are very talented, who will never, ever get to display their skills for the fact that they do not have the push that they need to succeed. Many of these kids are awesome on the field, but their situation at home, not so much. So this will help level the playing field.
So this bill, it went through some debate. It was changed a little bit. Now parents have to sign off on it, which makes so much sense, right? And then there are a couple of other guidelines. And one of the guidelines is a cap, $15,000 a year you're allowed to spend. And only one expenditure per player. But let me tell you, $15,000, I was I went, whoa, high school coaches, that's a chunk of change.
Yeah, it is.
How does that happen? I mean, what kind of hardship is that for a high school coach?
It's difficult. For one, high school coaches in the state of Florida are underpaid. I think they make about $5,800 a year.
I think there's another bill that just passed that allows boosters to bump that also.
Yeah, I saw that as well. But these coaches are underpaid, but
let me explain something to you. See, this is the real problem they had with Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy didn't need the $5,800 or whatever the coach's salary is. Teddy came in with his own money. He came in as an asset, spending his own money on the kids. And that directly led to a successful year for these kids. And them folks did not like that. That's the problem they had with Teddy Bridgewater. That's why he got suspended. He's basically the proof in the test. He showed that with the proper financial backing and the proper support, these kids can achieve greatness. But let's continue.
I've sat in meetings with athletic directors from previous high schools that I attended or worked at, and I heard these meetings. I heard about the budgets and different things like that, and one of the things that's missing at a school like Miami Northwestern is the fundraising. You have to go out in the community and fundraise, and I think that's one of the key components that's missing right now at Miami Northwestern with the guy at the top, just not being able to go out there and fundraise. So now the coaches go out there and fundraise, and it's kind of hard to do with a season coming up and managing 60 to 80 kids.
With all the great players and all the money that came out of South Florida from these inner city schools, there's no way they should have a problem with the fundraiser.
Talk about a little bit about high school sports. It relies on that fundraising?
Yes,
really,
it does. And it's just hard to fundraise, especially when seasons are coming fast. For me, I had spring football, I had football in the fall, so
sure.
It's not enough time.
One of the things, when you take it to this political level, one of the things that people were asking was, well, now if you let coaches spend their own money, all of a sudden, like this even playing field that they like to say that public schools are, no longer is so even.
It's so hard to just raise $2,000, with the public schools. But the playing field is a little more even, but hopefully these coaches, these administrators are using this act to keep the game fair. It's not illegal recruiting going on, and like you said, it's limited to one coach being able to use the $15,000, and I just want to keep the game fair.
This is a big deal, man, a real big deal. You understand? Growing up, it was hard to get what we needed. Pads and helmets and cleats, things of that nature. It was rough and tough. Shouts out to all the coaches that made a difference. Shouts out to all the coaches that picked us up and dropped us off to practice. Only reason they came at Teddy Bridgewater from the jump was because it's a black man doing for inner city kids, and the turnout is it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Look, just look what he's done already. He put his money into these kids, and just look at the ROI. It's good. The kids are loving it. That's all they needed was some good support, a little financial support. That goes a long way along with knowing how to talk to the kids and giving them that push. You dig? Out to Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater was suspended last year. Now Teddy Bridgewater is back. They got the Teddy Bridgewater bill now. And it was put into action by FBA. Chevin Jones, I know he's FBA because his mama, Miss Jones, was my 5th grade teacher. Yeah, Parkview Elementary. Shouts out to Parkview Elementary, Miss Jones. Chevin, he's a Democrat. He be shilling, but this was a good one. This was a good bill. And everybody came to the table and agreed on it and got it passed. He understands what a lot of us go through. We went through a lot as kids, trying to play ball. Just showing up was hard. Not to mention the support, people in the stands cheering for you, people making sure you got the proper nutrition. He understands that. I mean, both Chevin and Teddy, they both understand that. He got suspended, and now as we double back and spin the block, the Teddy Bridgewater bill has been passed. Now let me make this clear. There's nothing that Teddy did that none of the YT coaches haven't done. Shouts out to the coaches, because it's some of them guys that actually keep these kids' heads on straight. It ain't the parents, because some of the kids don't even like their parents. But the coaches, some of these coaches, they're very instrumental in these kids' lives. But this bill right here, this is a good thing. This is good. This is great. Shouts out to everybody who has something to do with getting this bill passed. I like what's going on. Y'all leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think about this Teddy Bridgewater bill. Do you like it? Yay or nay? I love it. And I want to give a major salute to people like Coach Osborne, Norland Vikings, Coach Tony, North Dade Bulldogs, Coach Eddie George, Scott Lake Vikings, Coach Todd, Coach Jack, and all the other coaches. Rest in peace to those gone. And to those who are still here, major salute. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you like the content, click that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Thanks for all that you do, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
I like this Chesley Major.
Chesley Major.
Yeah.